This one scene changes everything. Let me explain. So Dandadan episode 19 is out and everyone is going crazy over it. This episode has it all: the romance, the suspense, and, of course, the maid Momo. But I'm here to talk about one scene in particular, the hand-holding scene. Specifically, the moment leading up to the hand-holding. Because what anime-only fans may not know is that this scene where Okarun reaches out to hold Momo so they can walk home together is not in the manga. In the manga, just like in the anime, Okarun states that he can't let a girl walk by herself this late at night and that they should go home quickly, to which then he states it's cold and Momo holds his hand and says because it's cold. And while in the manga, it could be interpreted as Momo rewarding Okarun in a sense for him coming back to walk her home, this additional scene gives the anime a whole different meaning. The major difference being, of course, that in the anime, Okarun is the one to initiate the hand-holding even if he didn't follow through. He instinctually went to grab her hand so they could walk home. This small addition to the scene is a significant detail to a much bigger picture being told. Here's why. Going all the way back to season 1 episode 9, during the water battle with the mantis alien, Momo and Okarun start arguing about him being with Ira in the back of the school and Momo thinking they were making out. After some back and forth, Okarun grabs Momo and tells her to just be honest and tell him if she is upset about it. Because even though he doesn't care about anybody else's opinion on the matter, he does care about Momo's opinion and wants to clear things up with her. This is the first time we have a real emotional, physical contact between the two characters. The first time we actually see them hold each other's hand is in this scene from season 1 episode 4, where they're in the middle of a battle between Turbo Granny and the Ghost Crab. And this is crucial because this is where we establish the core foundation of their relationship: trust. Their entire relationship is built on this trust, and we see this for the first time here. Okarun is hesitant of going all out again because he doesn't think they'd be able to escape Turbo Granny and the crab, but Momo asks him to trust her. He takes her word for it, and when he's about to pass out from transforming, Momo is right there to grab him, keeping him from falling down. Them locking hands is a sign that they've just established a bond based on trust, and it's through this trust they're able to always overcome their enemies. As the anime develops and their feelings for each other begin to grow, this gesture becomes much more than a symbol of trust. In episode 9, Okarun is the one to hold Momo this time. Her trust in him was broken after he lied to her about having to work on a school report and she found him on top of Ira. So now, in a desperate attempt to gain back Momo's trust, Okarun offers this moment, amongst all the chaos going on around them, to ground each other so they can once again have that bond and trust with each other. They literally have no ground to stand on right now. They are just floating in a bottomless pit of water. But this small gesture is able to bring both of them back to a state of familiarity. And yet, it's somehow different. This isn't just about trust anymore. There's something else. A feeling of genuine care for one another. Why does Momo care so much that Okarun was with Ira? Why does Okarun care so much about what Momo thinks? Because their bond isn't just about trust anymore. It's slowly becoming something more. So what does all this have to do with the scene from episode 19? Well, after Okarun finishes talking, Momo turns away because even though she knows what he's saying is true and she is bothered by what she saw, this is Momo we're talking about. She's not the emotional type. She's not just gonna come out and say what she's really feeling. And I don't even think at this point she even knows what she's feeling or why she's feeling it. So instead, she deflects the conversation and calls Okarun a perv for touching her while he's naked. Which, I mean, fair. But this small act on her end sets off a big setback in their growing relationship because her pushing him away, Okarun doesn't take this lightly. Moving on from this moment, he has a very hard time having any sort of physical contact with Momo. He doesn't want to disrespect her ever again, so he abides by this rule, which is why every moment after this, when we see the two of them have any form of physical contact, Okarun freaks the F out and overly apologizes because he doesn't want to disrespect Momo and have her get upset with him. Their feelings for each other may be growing, but as long as that boundary is up, Okarun won't dare cross it. So now it's up to Momo to set things straight and bring down that wall she's set between them. And I believe that first time we see this is in episode 15, when Okarun comes up with a plan to get Momo out of the hole so that she can find a way to get him and Gigi out. Momo is unsure of this plan because she doesn't want to leave Okarun behind, but Okarun tells her it's the only way. We then cut to this scene of Momo holding Okarun's hand. Once again, we see this physical contact, not so much in a romantic way, but to again establish that bond of trust trust between the two. It's their way of saying, I trust you. This scene is important because this is the first instance of Momo breaking that physical barrier with Okarun. Later on, when Momo and the aliens save Okarun from the lava, and Okarun trips and falls on Momo, he flips out and steps back, over-apologizing, establishing he didn't mean to touch her. Because remember, he has too much respect for her, and the last thing he wants to do is upset her. But Momo isn't upset. In fact, she embraces him, and this is the first real emotional gesture we see from Momo. After everything they'd been through, and her thinking she almost lost him, she wants nothing more than to hold him, to have that physical reassurance that he is alive and okay. But Okarun doesn't hug her back. He keeps his arms away because even though she's embracing him, he still doesn't want to break that barrier of respect he has for her. So now we get to the car scene, where once again, Okarun is overly apologetic for coming in contact with Momo, this time literally only touching pinkies. But this is Momo's chance to finally break that mentality out of him and reassure him that, hey, it's okay. That's why Momo starts to play around with his hand, to show him that she is okay with this. She is okay with their relationship entering a new stage with more physical interactions, and she won't get upset about it. This is where their gesture of holding hands starts to become much more than a symbol of trust. It is now becoming a symbol of love. And now all of this build-up has finally led to this moment. The moment everyone has been waiting for, the hand-holding scene. Momo and Okarun finally hold hands for the first time as a gesture of romance. But what I love about the anime particularly is that by adding this scene where Okarun is about to grab Momo's hand for the first time since that argument they had all the way back in episode 9. Oh wow, I just realized that's exactly 10 episodes ago. This is showing us that Momo's putting in all that effort to show Okarun that he doesn't have to be afraid of her getting upset and he could be more comfortable with her has actually paid off, because in that moment he was instinctually reaching out to grab her hand. But then, in a typical Okarun sense, the hesitation takes over once more. He's still unsure if she would really be okay with him doing this, and so he pulls back. And as he starts to walk away, Momo gives him the final push he needed to understand that, yes, Okarun, you can hold Momo's hand. It's okay. He doesn't have to be so hesitant anymore. That barrier has been brought down, thus taking their relationship to a whole new level and a new bond being formed. One built on trust, care, and love.